A fair point. And it's not like you can say that in-person communication, it has advantages, it also has disadvantages. Some advantages of email or texting is you have time to think of your response. The disadvantage of that is you lose tone, like you mentioned. So there's pluses and minuses in both directions. What are some of the best tools that you have found that, minimizes those disadvantages or really just enhance productivity and connection in a remote work setting?
So I've been using Basecamp for the longest time, for 12 years. So Basecamp is a pretty, I'm sure you've used it before, and a lot of your listeners will be aware of it. I think it's a pretty simple, neat tool. It's easy to use, and it sort of keeps all your messages and everything in one place. So as a basic sort of overarching tool for project communication, team communication, I think the Basecamp is a good tool. There are others as well, but this is what I use. I don't have any experience using too many other similar tools because Basecamp has always worked for me and my team. The other thing that I've started using lately is video. So off late, I mean, last few years, video communication tools have really proliferated, and you have tools like, let's say, Loom. Loom is a tool that I came across, and then there's other tools like BombBomb, which does the same thing, where you can simply create videos, screencasts, even of yourself speaking, and then with a click of a button, just send it off to your team member or even a client, and communicate that way. So that's something that I use a tool called, right now I use a tool called Story Express, and it has a similar functionality. It's where you can shoot, create screencasts and the like. And I find it so easy. I find it so easy, simple. It's something that I find indispensable right now, because it also saves a lot of my time. Instead of writing a long email with my response, I can simply shoot a 2-minute video and send it off to a client and say, hey, look, this is what I meant. And especially, like we were talking earlier, if I had to take my client or even my assistant through some detailed um, presentation of a tool that I'd like them to use, or a specific way I'd like to use, have them use a tool. It's so easy to send instructions through such tools. So that's something that I use. I do use Slack a little bit as well for some client teams. Because they use Slack, I use Slack. That's a tool that is pretty handy as well. But I can't live without Basecamp. I can't live without my video tool, Story Express, and of course, email. I try and minimize email, but you can't live without email.